Astro Estate, and I've got fishing gear sitting behind me, so that only means one thing: we're going on an adventure. Woohoo! Right, so first stop is going to be, I'll grab some fuel and then I'll go across to Gorleston Tackle and get some bait. Got 50 lug, half pound of rag, gonna get some squid, mackerel, crab, the normal stuff basically. And then we're off down Gorleston River to start with. I'm gonna fish from low tide up and we'll go from there. Hopefully we're gonna get a few fish. Last few trips have been really hard work, but you got to keep trying. I'm due for a good session, so let's see how we get on. So we've got an hour's journey across from where I live to Gorleston. It's not a bad run normally, it's all back roads, but not too much hassle. Normally get your foot down a bit and get on with it. That's what I'm doing. Plan today is hopefully a bass down the side of the wall, maybe some flatfish out in the middle. More than likely after dark we'll probably get some whiting. Don't know if they're in yet, but we'll give it a good go. I'll talk you through the rigs and the rods when we get there, show you the baits, and we'll go from there. Okay everyone, so we're now coming into Gorleston. Temperature on the car is saying 19 degrees, so not seeming too cold. Got cloudy skies, we've got to do a bit of sunshine. Obviously being down the side of the water's edge could be totally different to right here. We're going to pop into the town centre, to the tackle shop, grab our bait, then I'll show you the view of where we're going, the options we got, and we'll pick somewhere to fish. So if you're looking for this tackle shop yourself, came into the town centre, there's a main set of traffic lights. Get to them lights, you want to be turned right towards the sea, left obviously if you're coming in from the other side. Which is why I thought I'd run this video through here just to show you what's what. Back for me, sold it to anyone else. Should be okay, they're not very reliable. Hopefully there'll be some good worms, not just diddy little things. But then to be honest, sometimes they work really well. And so yeah, so if you're in this is the main lights I was talking about. Whatever direction you come from, you head towards the lifeboat station. That will take you where you need to go. Down. And come in past the kebab shop and chip shop and stuff like that on your right. If you're going down to fish the river, you can go straight down there, but we need to go around here to go to the tackle shop. You just follow this road along. There's quite a bit of hassle to park, but just squeeze in somewhere for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, however long you're going to be in the shop. It's not too bad. So you just follow the road round, and the tackle shop is just down here. You should be able to see it now coming into the camera. fish on the front. And you just normally park on this road is what I normally do. It's normally okay, there's no yellow line. Well, there's yellow lines, but there's also places to fish as well. Fish, park and get your bait from as well. Right, so I'm going to go and grab my bait and I'll bring it back soon. So the bait's picked up, got exactly what I needed. Had a little chat with the chaps inside. Pretty much recommending exactly what I'm doing, so that's handy. I'm now popping in the Morrison's, grab a sandwich and a drink for later on. And then we'll get down to Waterside and I'll show you what's going on and where we're going to fish. Okay, so I've got my food. And we're now down the river, as you can see. Now, where do we fish? Do we fish on the edge of these little rocks? Once the tide comes up, do we go further down? So we'll take a run along and we'll decide what to do. Got plenty of time to just go on the bottom of the tide, which was about 5 o'clock low tide. It's now 5:30, so it's turning around. So let's take a wander along the river and decide where to set up. I would imagine that the fishing will start to pick up as the tide comes up. Normally I would say halfway up is when you would get sort of constant bites, as I would say. Pretty sure I just saw something jump in the river, but what would that be? Bass, maybe? Sea trout? Don't know. See, any of this along here is all fishable, but what do we do? Do we fish around these structures? And then we've got a horrible place for the rods. It's not very sturdy, it's downhill, not very nice setup. Or do we go further down where there's a wall, or there's car parks down here I can fish out of? There's lots of little spots, but obviously these parking spaces are for residents. Don't know if places like that would fish well once the tide's in. Or down the actual edge of the wall. There's a proper concrete wall down the other end here. Would probably be a better spot. None of this sort of area here, it's all collapsed, so it's not really fishable. Let's go a bit further down, I'll jump out of the car and I'll show you what it's like down the other end. Right, it's been another hour now. I've been walking up and down the river and looking all sorts of places, making sure I don't go anywhere where I shouldn't and stuff like that. But I found myself a little spot that I'm going to take a chance in. I'm going to drive up and over a ramp we go. I'm going to go in there, I'm going to park up and I'm going to start fishing. So I'll spin you around and you can see where I'm going. Okay, so today we're using the Daiwa Sensor Z S120F. It's a surf special. That's an ideal rod for this sort of thing. We've also got the leader Piranha 12-foot FS power surfs. They're also ideal for this sort of fishing. Then I've got a Continental rod here. It's Continental LS beach caster, just a Shakespeare chibi one. Just been using that to whack across to the other side. So we'll get these set up. Before you ask about reels, I've got the matching reels for the Piranha rods over there, and just some odd reels I use on the Daiwa and the Shakespeare. Okay, so in some of my other videos people have been asking what rigs that I'm using. So today on this rod, just got a wishbone rig with 150 gram weight. Bait wise, we've got frozen mackerel, squid, rag, lug, black lug, bluey, and a few other bits and pieces. On this wishbone rig, I'm just going to put a couple of lug to start off with, I think. Maybe tipped off with a bit of squid on one. We'll go from there, we'll get this rod out. So I'm just putting a couple of tiny lug out on this rig. Just tap it out gently and see how we get on. Okay, and on the next rod, same rig again, wishbone rig. I seem to do quite well with these. Just pick up small white and flatfish, saving the blank. Hopefully we're going to get a lot more fish than just saving the blank there. There's some of me lug and some of me rag. Nice to be able to fish just from the back of the car like this. Excuse the mess, but it's just my works car. So I'll get this one out. We'll do the other two. Okay, next rod is set up. Just made this rig up. Got a short snood at the top of it, running down to a boom coming off the bottom, and then a big long trace over to here. As you can see, quite a long flowing trace. 1/0 hooks on. So hopefully pick up a bass or something on that. We'll see how it goes. Right, I'll get this one out. So I'll put a lug on the short snood at the top, rag on the bottom. We'll get this one out. The other two rods are sitting over there. I think I've had a few knocks on them already. Could be crabs, don't know, we're not going to know till we reel in. I've got one more rod to set up and we'll be fishing properly. I'll run you through the stuff and we'll go from there. Okay, and that's the last rod set up. Same rig as the rod previously. Got a little bit of squid, a little bit of mackerel on this one. Tap this out and we'll sit back, watch these rods and hopefully get a fish. Okay, so we're finally all set up. All 4 rods are out. I'll show you the rigs. So let's spin you around and show you what's what. So all 4 rods are out. As you can see, first 2 rods that I bent round a bit, so I'm guessing they got a bit of weed on. Send a couple of taps on them. Maybe crabs, maybe a little whiting. But we've got all 4 out, so let's hopefully get a few bites. It's now starting to get dark, so I'll be getting my lamp set up fairly soon. Well, as soon as I've done this bit of the video. We've got all 4 rods out. Just thought I'd run you through them while we're getting set up. These are the reels that match them rods that I said about earlier. None of my reels have got any leader on today. I need it in the river. These 2 have just got these on, but they all seem to do the job. Bait wise, we got mackerel, tub of squid, we've got some lug, we've got some rag, we've got some black lug, and that should keep us going for a while. So I'll get me lights set up and we'll go from there. Hopefully I'll be back with a fish soon. So I had lots of messages on the last videos asking what lamps and that I use. So here's the lamp, the North Stars. I must admit this one's not too clean, but I've had it quite a few years. It still does the job. Little tip to keeping these running nicely and bright, just to put some Red X in them when you put the fuel in them. It just keeps all the system nice and clean and keeps them burning nicely. So that's what they are, and they're brilliant. I've actually got 7 of them. I just keep them all running. Normally take 2 to 3 at a time with me, depending on where I go. More if I go on the beach. Got 2 with me today, so we'll see how we get on with them. I just thought I'd put that in because people asked last time. Okay, so we've been fishing about 10 minutes now. All 4 rods are out, as you can see. The water's pretty much still. It's obviously got a flow to it. Tide's coming up. Time is next. It's going to probably be dark within the next half hour, 45 minutes. Got a big ship coming in the distance. Hopefully that's not going to wipe out my rods. Got both my lamps on now. This end rod, the first rod we put out, I think I've had a few knocks on this one. Could well just be crabs or a bit of weed, but they look like little nibbles of white bites, that sort of thing. Both these rods are bending around well, so I'm guessing you've got some weed on as well. The other two that are really close in seem to be sitting still. So we'll have a little reel in and see what we start off with, shall we? That's certainly ain't a good start. We're not looking for loads of weed like that. We'll get it stripped off and rebaited. Get it back out there. Well, that wasn't the best start, a load of weed. Hopefully we ain't going to get too much of that. But got this massive great thing going past now. That's a ship and a half, isn't it? I think that's dislodged the lead on one of my rods as well. That's going to stir the bottom up well, isn't it? We'll see. This is the second rod come in, covered in weed too. Not a very good start. I hope it's not going to be like that all night. Try closer in, try further out, see if we can get away from it. But that's not the start I was looking for. At the moment there's so much weed coming in with the rods that there's even crabs in the piles of weed that came in all nice and mixed up in the pile of weed. I think I'll make a nice bait, so I'll be keeping that. Maybe put that on later on when it's high tide. Hopefully this weed isn't going to be coming through all the time, because it's going to be a right pain. It's looking like these two rods, they haven't got no bends to them, so I don't think that's actually caught up in any weed. These are really close in down the edge of the wall, so hopefully we'll be okay with these. Still a bit of wind, but certainly not cold. Okay, so I just put the rods out for their second cast. All four rods came in with loads of weed on them, on every knot, and the weights at the bottom. Got a nice pile of weed sitting down the bottom here. Right, I'll spin you around. That's how much weed I've brought in already, just on them rods. It's a fair bit. So all four rods are back out again. Trying all different distances and stuff to see if I can get away from the weed. Got a couple that are literally just down the edge of the wall. I mean, literally on the edge of the wall. You can probably see the line of this one's literally going straight down. This one's just going off to the left, and them two are out in the middle. So hopefully one of them's going to pick up a fish before I pick up some weed. Well, that's the plan anyway. I think I have got a bite on the second rod in. I keep knocking every now and again. Hopefully that's not picking up weed, hopefully that is a knock. Well, it seems to be a nice night anyway. Getting a few spits of rain, but it's not really actually raining. Nothing to worry about. It's nice and calm out here. It's a nice place to sit. Not that I've sat down yet. Just don't seem to have any fish yet. Can't get past this weed at the moment. It's now dark, as you can see. So hopefully that'll bring on a few fish, even if they're whiting. Anything really, little flatties, bass. Raining now, as you can see. which is annoying. Well, just brought another rod in, and this is what's on it. Every time I come in, it's just covered in weed. I'm hoping this is going to disappear at some point in the tide. Otherwise I think I'd have much luck at getting a bite because baits are getting covered. Okay, so I found my way around, and the only place I can fish is literally down the side of the wall about getting weed. We just had our first bite on this rod here. Hopefully that will go again. That was a good knock. I'm guessing a little whiting or a bass. They never go when you put the camera on them, do they? Come on, fishy. Got 2 rods sitting down the side of the wall there. And then the same again on these 2 rods. It's getting to that time of the tide where we should be getting some bites anyway if we can get away from this weed. So, hopefully. That's a nice view of all 4 rod tips there, all the white tips. Just want that second one to go again. It went really well. I banged the rod down quite hard actually. Well, it's 9:30 now. The bite I had on that rod didn't mature into anything. There's nothing there. Didn't carry on. I'm sitting here all wrapped up, as you can probably see. Just keeping warm enough to carry on. It's raining out there, but on this channel we don't mess around. We just work through it and carry on, try and catch fish. A bit of rain's not going to stop me. I haven't brought me waterproofs today, but I will start bringing them from now on, I think, as the weather starts to get worse in the winter and stuff. Right, so I'll spin you around and show you the rods again. So the rods are sitting there quite nicely. Not sure about this cast yet, whether I've got weed or not. Got all 4 rods very close in now. To see by the water, there's quite a pace on it. That's normal for here. Shame we ain't had a few fish yet, but we'll carry on. We've still got plenty of bait. We've still got a couple of mackerel, half a box of squid, a fair few lug, and rag. There's another pack of rag down. We've got some black lug, so we're doing fine for bait. I might start putting some bigger baits on soon and seeing if we can find a fish that way. I was just trying to get away from this weed. So I'll give you a quick wander. Here's a nice spot to fish. Definitely a nice spot to fish. You can see up the lights, you can see it's raining. But nothing too bad, we can deal with that. We'll come here to catch a fish, so that's what we're going to try and do. All 4 rods seem to be sitting quite still now, whereas they were starting to pull down and pull round before, when the weed was grabbing on the weights and hooks and stuff like that. So hopefully next time I reel in, they won't be absolutely covered in weed. Sorry if there's any wind noise, don't seem to be too windy, but this is how much weed I've took off the rods so far. Enough to fill up an aquarium and put some fish in. And that's only like 3 casts. But there we go. That's what we're doing. Come back over here now. We will carry on. Don't know what time we're going to finish tonight, but I'm going to do my very best to get a few fish on the bank, especially if this weed gets out of the way. We did think about moving and going off down to the pier, but I'd like to get some fish from this end, to be honest. So I'll carry on. I'll bring you back again, hopefully with an update later on with some fish. Well, we haven't blanked. I just caught a little whiting. Nothing massive. We got rid of the blank, so let's hopefully start getting a few bites now. I'll put this one back. Hopefully I'll see you soon with some more fish. Yay! Well, that was good. Never been so happy to catch a tiny little whiting. Well, the blank's gone, so now hopefully we'll start getting a few fish. Seem to be getting past the weed a bit now. Now I'll work things out. Let's hope to get a few more fish. Still got the 4 rods out. I'm trying one 3/4 of the way across now as well. Hopefully there's no weed. Things have settled down. Got mackerel, double mackerel on a close in one. I've got a rag and lug on the second one. Got squid and lug on one. And squid and mackerel on the other. So we've got plenty of chances. Let's try and get a few fish. Okay, fish number 2. Nice slimy eel, yummy. Well, at least we're getting a few fish now. I actually got this one on the far side. Came in with a little bit of weed, but I don't mind dealing with a bit of weed if I'm going to get a few fish. A couple of birds having a nightly swim. Don't see that very often. Oh, my voice scared them off. It's gone quiet again now, so I've moved the rods about a bit just to see if we can do something else. Still got this left hand rod right across the other side. Got 2 close in and 1 slightly further out. Weed seems to have calmed down a bit. Well, quite a bit to be fair. Enough to get a couple of bites, so hopefully I'll stay like that and we'll get a few more bites. And a recast. And we'll go from there. It's now 10:30. So we've been fishing a few hours now. So the tide's getting up there now. Normally the tide from now on is sort of the time to fish. So hopefully one of these rods will go and we'll have another fish soon. Okay, I'll update you a bit later. Well, I'm getting bites on all rods at the moment. That's really changed round. But we're really annoyed because we just had a really nice bass on, probably 2.5, 3 pound, and just as I was coming up the wall, it dropped down. So that's annoying, but I'll keep trying because these rods are not going to weigh now, so hopefully we'll get another one. Something of the same calibre or even better would be nice. So hopefully I'll bring you back soon and we'll have some more fish. Well, we're picking up a few now, still getting some weed on the far side, but another whiting. Which I don't mind catching, it's better than not catching anything. At least we're not blanking. And we're starting to get a few bites now. Shame I lost that bass. That would have really made my night, but that's part of how it goes. And we'll get back out there and try and get some more. Just thought I'd update you on the little whiting. Shame I weren't filming when I just pulled that bass up a wall, but there we go. There's another fish for you. Fish number 3. Put it back. And we're in again. That's good. It's getting better. Not a bad size white in that one. Catching these on small lug. Come on, hooked well. Not too bad fish. As you can see that. Nothing huge, but better than nothing. Okay, quick update. It's 11 o'clock. We're on 4 fish now, I think. 3 whiting and an eel. I'm now about to have a rebait, reposition rods again. Weeds seem to have calmed down quite a lot. Still getting some, but just a little. So I'll carry on. Tides, we're getting towards the top of the tide now. We've got like an hour and a half, something like that. So hopefully we'll get a few more fish. Really annoyed that I lost that bass, but hopefully I'll get another one. I'll keep trying anyway. Rain seems to have held off a bit now. I'm getting the odd spit and stuff like that, but it's not pouring, so I can handle that. It's not a problem. Right, I'll spin you around, show you the rod tips, and then I'm going to reel in and rebait. Okay, so the rods are sitting there like that at the moment. This one on this far end is cast right across the other side. The second one is just tapped out. The third one is literally not quite on the side of the wall, but just gently down the side. And then the other one is whacked across the other side again. Went for a rebait and a reposition, and hopefully get another bite. It'd be nice to get another one of them bass. But I don't really mind what I catch, as long as I catch some more fish. Just had a really good bite on the end rod, so about to reel it in. That's great. Fish number 5. Another whiting. Got a load of weed again. Not so big this one, but welcome all the same. Well, definitely seem to be getting more bites. Another little whiting. Not too bad fish. Chuck this one back. Alright, I'm going to reel in the other rod and hopefully I've got one on there too. Another whiting. Not bad size. So we're getting a few now. What looked like I was going to blank is turning into getting a few fish, which is good. Still wouldn't mind some bigger ones. Still can't believe I lost that bass. It's really annoying. I had a big thump on the left hand rod a little while ago as well, and for some reason didn't hook up. I am using small hooks tonight. Fairly small baits. Maybe I should have used a bit bigger hooks, but right, I'll get this one put back. 11:30 now. Well, we seem to have turned things around a bit now, don't we? Started to rain again, which is annoying, but I'm still getting bites. In fact, I've got one right now. Now I'll spin you around and see if we can get it on camera. So this rod was bouncing away just now. Hopefully that will go again. Or is that always the case when you bring the camera over? They stop. It's really annoying. I'm even standing out here getting wet. Well, I can vibe with that. Right, so I'll space the rods out and put them in different positions. I've got 3 over there, well, 2 over the far side, 1 in the middle. And then 1 just dropped in short, just to cover all areas. Getting a little bit of weed on each cast, but nothing to worry about now. I'll spin you back round, I think. Oh no, we'll watch the rod, shall we? Right, so far tonight, best rigs have been the wishbone rigs. They've had most of the whiting and the eel. The bass came to a top snood with a big lump of mackerel on. So that's what's happening at the moment. The eel came to ragworm. Most of the whiting seem to have come to lugworm. So there's no sort of good bait tonight. There's sort of a variety of baits that are catching different fish. I don't mind that, it's pretty good. It's nice to catch a variety of stuff. Again, a shame about the bass, but never know, still might get another one. Still might get something else. Never know, might even get a real unicorn and get a codlin, but once that was rough enough for that, but you never know. You never know what's going to be on the end of that next bite, which is why we all go fishing, isn't it? So, I'll give it a little bit longer again. We'll see if we can get another fish. Coming up to midnight now. Not sure how long we're going to give it, but I've still got plenty of bait. Still got loads of lug, loads of rag, squid, mackerel. So yeah, we're okay. Oh, that bite's back again. I'll take it as on, but yeah, there we go. A live bite. Not exactly thumping like it was earlier, but I think that's, there we go. I think it's tripped the lead and that's taken it down river, so I'm going to reel that one in, see what we got. In fact, I'll leave you going and see what we get, shall we? Not feeling too massive, but I think we've got something on. Probably a small whiting, small bass, something like that. Hope it's just not weed, that'll be annoying. That made me look terrible. Come over the top one and we have a rod. Oh! That was a little bass that just dropped down just as I was lifting it over again. Don't know why I'm not hooking these properly either. For some reason they're not staying on properly. Just as I come over the top of that rod to lift it over, plop into the water. There we go, that's part of how it goes. Right, get this one back out and hopefully get a bite on something else. Oh, we've got another fish. Another whiting. Not bad size. Alright, stick this one back. This one actually took both hooks. Really little. I'm getting loads of bites on the other rods as well. Missed a clonkum bite just now, but don't know how, but I didn't get it. But yeah, things are happening. It's 12 o'clock now. So we'll keep going because we've still got some bait. While we're getting bites, we're going to keep fishing. Don't know what happened there, but that came off the hook again. I don't know what's going on here. I'm getting really mega big bites on these and just missing them. It's not like I ain't got small enough hooks for it, but right, I'm going to bring in the end rod because that's had a thump and bite 2 or 3 times now. Good, small whiting. So we seem to be getting a fair few bites now. Don't know what's going on with that long range rod over the other side. I'm getting some right thumps on that, but I'm not connecting. I don't know what they are. Got small enough hooks on and stuff. Maybe I need bigger hooks on. Don't know what's going on there. We'll keep trying. That's another whiting. I think we're on 7, 8 fish now, aren't we? So it's not too bad. We're getting a few. Right, see if I can get some more. So while I was sitting here waiting for a bite, I've rebatted the rods by the way. Got 3 on the other side and 1 close in down this end. I was just looking over the edge. And I had a few thoughts coming into my head regarding these lights. Do you think where these lights are down here on the water like that, how far do you reckon that penetrates into the water? Do you reckon that scare the fish away? Do you reckon you should not fish in them areas? Because I've got a line right down there. And I'm just wondering whether that's not a good idea. Maybe I should be down in the dark waters like that. If anyone's got any thoughts on that sort of thing, you can let me know in the comments what you think on that. Obviously this water is not very clear. This is like dirty, murky water, so not sure if they'd penetrate too deep, but let me know in the comments what you think of that. Well, I don't seem to be getting a bite down there on that rod, and I've had fish on that rod already. Close in down in front of me in the dark bit, but not down there in the light, so just wondering, I'm going to move that again in a minute into the darker areas and see what happens. Just a thought. Hopefully a further you can put a comment in about it. And like I say, I'll move a rod out of there into a darker bit and we'll see what it does. It's coming up for 12:30 now. I lost count of what fish we're on now. That where I had that really good bite, that rig came in all tangled up, so I'm guessing that had an eel on it and that all twisted everything up. Lovely night down here, all nice and quiet, everyone tucked away in bed. Not much happening. Had the odd car go past, but nothing to worry about. Nice place to be, a little bit of wind, certainly not cold. Rain seemed to be on and off. I didn't know nothing too heavy apart from a few hours back. Nothing to worry about. Right, I'm going to try and get another bite and another fish. Okay, so it's decided to start raining again. Lovely. So I've jumped in the back of the car. Still got a fair bit of bait left. Lug, rag, squid, mackerel. Bit of everything actually. Tide's still coming in by the looks of things. Still running to the left. Must be high tide fairly soon now. It's around this time, within the next half an hour. Well, what a bundle of joy that is for me to sort out. Wrapped up my whole rigs. Wrapped itself up. Lovely. So at least we're still getting fish. Okay, I'll get this mess sorted out. Well, we're in again. Another whiting. Half decent fish. and another white, both on the same breed. So that's alright, double header. Bottom one's a bit tangled up, but nothing to worry about. We're getting a few fish now. The eel rod, I had to pack that one up, that was just nowhere near fixable, that trace. That needs to be rebuilt. But at least we've got a couple more. So I'm going to get these off, put them back, see what the other two rods got going on. Okay, so it's 1 o'clock now. Weeds start to pick up. I'm going to stay at that. But we're still getting fish. Not a bad size whiting. Not bad at all. Could probably keep that, but I'm not going to. Well, we're in again. Look at that load of weed. Jeez, big, huge clumps of it. But in amongst all that, there's another whiting. Caught another whiting, which is good. At least we caught some fish. But now the tide's going back out again. It's just bringing all this weed back in. So we'll have a couple more casts, see if we can deal with it. I'm going to come close in again, just down the edge of the wall, and see what happens. Well, we're in again. Another 10 ton of weed. Nice tangled up trace. Had to run halfway down the sea wall to get this one. Got a whiting again. So we're still getting them, but this weed is unbelievable. It does come off quite easy, to be fair. So we're still getting fish. It's pouring with rain now and getting soaked, but all part of the fun, I suppose. Going 1 o'clock now. Tide's definitely going out and it's pulling the lines that way and picking up all the weed basically. We'll have a couple more casts, see if we can get a couple more fish. We'll probably call it a night. Got enough bait left over to do another little trip somewhere. So we'll freeze that up and salt the worms. And hopefully we'll get another trip in soon. Okay, so it's 1:30 now. Just put all the rods back out again after absolutely hammering down with rain. Got a bit wet, but I drag them round to the right now really badly as soon as you put them in. Which means they're obviously picking up weed, but that's fine as long as we pick up fish at the same time. We had a good few knocks on this rod, but seem to have calmed down. These two rods have only just gone out, so we'll see how it goes. Probably only going to have a couple more casts now. It's getting on a bit now. This rod here's got a small crab on it, on the bottom bait, and half a squid on top. See if there's anything down the side of the wall. So fingers crossed we'll get one more, maybe two more fish, and then that'll be time to pack up. This rod's just sitting here ready to be packed up because it got all spun up by an eel. Got a few lug left, which we could put on a couple of casts really. Got a whole pack of rag left, a whole wrap of black lug, a bit of squid and a couple of mackerel, so we could do another trip. Have to see what's what and go from there. The end rod's bouncing up and down nicely now. See if I can get you a bite on camera. Every time, doesn't it? Stop. Nope, got a little dot. There we go. There's something there. Probably a little white. Any better from this side? It's tapping away. I guess there's a little white on there. Okay, so get that reeled in. I'll let you know if we've got a fish. Well, it's just poured for the last half an hour or so. I've got this soaked, rebaiting the rods. I'm going to give it probably one more last cast. It's getting a bit rough now. It's getting a bit more windy. The rain is just driving down. It's really hard to do anything really. Everything's just getting soaked. I've stuck it out quite well, I think. So think I've done well. I think I've got a bite on me end rod, so that could be a good end to one more fish. It's just getting a bit too rough to carry on now, and the time's getting on. So we'll see how we get on. It's been a nice night. Had a bit of rain here and there, but in the last sort of hour or so, or the last 2 hours, it's rained sort of non-stop. It's getting a bit wet now. I'm sort of soaked through. We've had a few fish on this session. We had a mixture. Shame we lost the big one. We lost something else on the way in earlier as well. I think it was a little ray by the looks of things. That's a shame as well. But we've had a go. You can't always get them in. At least we've had some fish. Got some spare bait for another trip. So we'll sort that out and get back. Still got an hour's drive to do. But we ain't done yet, so let's not stop there. Give this cast 15 minutes, see if we get a bite. See if we get another fish to end the video on. Rain's pouring down again, as you can see. Wind's blowing all over the place. That's that fine stuff now where you just get absolutely drenched because there's so much of it. But we're still going. We've still got these rods out. I've had a bite on the furthest rod away, so there's probably a whiting or something on there. And these other two don't seem to have done anything yet. The end rod is just like quarter of the way out, and the other two are close in. Been a nice peaceful night. Only seen a couple of people who passed on bikes. Earlier on in the evening people walked past with some dogs and stuff like that. But otherwise been quite peaceful and quiet. Had the odd ship go past. Nothing too bad apart from the big major one that stirred up the whole bottom. Ripped all the leads out of every rod. Off the bottom they dragged off down the tide with the weed and stuff. But that was only once, so that's not too bad. So the rods are still out. I'm now about to break down the one that I've had all tangled up with the eel, and I'm going to bring these in one at a time. Okay, so I just brought the last rod in, and I found a weird item on the end of that. Look at that. Never hooked up like that before. Some sort of limpet or weirdy looking thing. I have no idea, but it's stuck to two stones and the weight's gone through it. So that's what we're fishing on out there. It's probably good bait, but I ain't gonna touch it just in case. Got a load more weed again. But yeah, that's it now. It's the fishing done. Just thought I'd show you that. There was something different. Or it came off. That's what it is. It's a weird looking thing, isn't it? Just thought that'd be good to show on camera. Hopefully you can see what I'm looking at. Right, I'm going to put these rods away and I'll see you in the car. Okay, so we're packed up. Just like to add this piece in. People put their rubbish in the bin. There's no reason to leave off at the beach or anywhere else. Swing it up into a bag or something like that. All I do is take it with me. As soon as I get home, I'll work it in the bin. End of story. Pretty straightforward. Not so much. I ended up taking off my lines tonight. in the car. Okay, so not a bad trip really. I'll spin you around, and as you can see, still pouring with rain. Lovely. I got the trip to do now home, which is sort of an hour and 15 minutes, something like that. So we'll start off doing that now. Back over the Humpty Dumpty thing. Nice spot to fish. Made better by being able to open the back of the boot and sit in the back out and stop the driving rain. That was quite good. I'll definitely do that again. It did get pretty wet, but it wasn't cold enough to worry about. I'm soaked right through, but I'm not cold at all. So, we begin our journey home.